Hey everyone, Edward18 here. Since I basically work every day on the stuff I make, I figured it's probably easy to make some YouTube comment when while I'm waiting to make the actual stuff that I want to get on the channel. So I just figured I'd record myself making a comic page and see how that goes, talking over it. And this is where I usually am most of the week. My bed, working on comic pages, and the other half I'm on the computer working on animations and digital pieces for my DeviantArt. And for those that don't keep up with my stuff, I make a comic, this. It's called Dreamscape. This is, I think, it's page 29 of comic number 12, I think. I think the first saga ended at comic 10. And it's been another comic between this. I put up a sort of making of page for that the other year. Or last, I forget which. I have so much stuff that I do in my life that things just sort of get lost in time. Yeah, ever since I quit the factory, I've been able to get stuff done pretty much every day or every other day, so I can at least focus on making my art and stuff like this now. Okay. Yeah, this is, that's Tesley. That's Mech-Mech. This is Stacy. They're characters that, well, Stacy was introduced in this comic, but she's been referenced before throughout the series. And she's basically the childhood best friend of the hero, who is not on this page. That would be Doko Rapilzo. And it's just a comic of them going on adventures, comedy, some violence here and there. Assassins try to kill Doko, machines and robots, ancient ruins, and all sorts of craziness. Yeah, I always love making stuff. It is literally what I live for. If I couldn't make stuff, I don't know, I'd kill myself or something. I have no idea what I would do if I couldn't create things. This is going a lot easier than I thought it would. I figured I'd need a stand, and I'm sure my hand will get tired eventually, but right now I'm just holding the camera and drawing, and it's going a lot smoother than I thought. Yeah, this is my life. Just stuck here, waiting for if Dad needs anything. Let's see. I guess I'll talk about life a bit. Yeah, the past 10 years I've been stuck here in middle of nowhere, Iowa. Just leaves me kind of taking care of everything. It's pretty unbearable at times. But at least I have this, able to just sit here making stuff all day. Yeah, obviously, I make rather cartoony looking things. Partly because realistic stuff kind of just bores me to death a lot of times. You don't get the stretchiness of the faces in real life, like the expressions that you really want to see. Like how I just shrink their pupils down like that when they're scared. That's it's just expressiveness is really what I love about animation, about art. It's just something you can't do in reality. And it helps drive home the emotions that the characters are displaying so well. I mean, there are good realistic artists, but I am not as interested in making that stuff. I'll look at that stuff because good art is good art, but as for making it, not my forte as much. Probably can do it, but I'm perfectly content scribbling all this stuff. Oh, I don't know if I'll get there before the battery runs out on this, but yeah. I guess I'll explain what this page is about. In this comic, they've come to a tournament because after the last saga, the funds that the protagonists had gotten over the course of the last saga have run out. And Tesley and Mech-Mech here have decided to enter Doko, who is a complete dumbass, into a tournament because he likes fighting and he always wants to do the right thing and help others. So they've brought him here to win money, prize money. And we'll see how that goes, but he's really good at fighting. He's gotten into the quarterfinals. They've just gotten done with preliminaries, which these two were trying to sneak in and see, but that's not allowed. Stacy here is telling a story about how someone got killed and dumped in the ocean for sneaking a peek at it in the past. And that leads into this character appears behind her. She's this witch that shows up every so often throughout the series. And she startles Stacy by poking her. So she whips around and smacks her with her fist in the nose and breaks it, and there's blood and stuff. And yeah. But since she's a witch, she just uses magic and fixes it. Yeah, it's a comic that's all full of... It's not afraid to do blood and suggestive humor and stuff. I mean, Mech-Mech here is a complete pervert, and he's always ogling the girls and all that. And there will be death at times and stuff like that as the series continues. Right now, though, I'm only on the beginning of the second saga, after, like, what, a decade? Mostly because I've had to stay working in that factory for so long, and I realize, because I'm paying attention to drawing, I'm not keeping the camera where it should be, so I apologize for that. Unless, of course, you people come for the melodious sounds of my voice, which I would be very surprised by. Let's see. Of course... Okay. Of course... Why am I need to put the actual... Sorry. I'm trying to remember what she's saying, and that's kinda hard as I'm talking. Okay. Of course... I should not have crammed all that in there. I'll edit it on the computer. And I'll have the word balloon of hers go over her breast area so that her body doesn't cover up the words. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Shade this in. Now, I do colored pages, but for the comics, I like to follow a Shonen Jump type style. So, I'll do a comic of about 40 to 50 pages usually, but in there, I'll have a segment of 5 to 10 colored pages, like how they do in Shonen Jump sometimes, to keep viewer interest. They do it that way. I do it to keep up that style of how to make a comic. Like, let's see. Hold on. I've actually got one here. Alright. This. This is how a Shonen Jump is. For those that aren't aware, that's where Dragon Ball came from. This is a Shoshuhin, I think. It's basically a Dragon Ball only Shonen Jump, but they'll have it mostly black and white, but every so often you'll get these nice colored pages and colored segment. That's a limited color segment, but you get the idea. Mostly black and white, but with some color. Yeah, I guess yeah, here's my whole bookshelf area. It's right next to my bed. There's all the Kanzenban of Dragon Ball. Gorillas, Spider-Man, Vader Zim, Earthworm, all that stuff. Stuff that's far more interesting than this. But yeah, just to show that I have that stuff, actually. Because, like, in a video, in my animations, I can edit in whatever book I want, but here at the bookshelf you can actually see that I do have things. No. Yeah, making comics have always sort of just been a part of my life, and it's stuff I've always wanted to make ever since I was little, just reading Spider-Man. And I mean like 60s Steve Ditko Spider-Man, that's the collections my dad had. Parents had the Tankobon, a Dragon Ball and stuff. I love creating, I love creation. It's what I live for. Yeah, hopefully at some point I can sell these. I just need to actually start promoting stuff. Sparky. Oh, yeah. Here's the old dog. Oh, he's got stuff dried out in his eyes. Yeah, for all the older viewers of the channel, you probably remember this old boy. He's about 17 or 18 years old now, can't see anymore, but he still flops around on the bed and runs around outside, smacks into the house because he can't see, gets up and does it again. He'll outlive everyone. Have been thinking of putting him in an animation at some point, but we'll see. I'm sure once he eventually passes, he'll still be a star in my stuff, helping out at the animation area and the animation, well, the internet version that I animate of me. It takes a lot of work to do those animations, like, you have no idea how much time I have to spend at the computer to make stuff actually move. Let's see, her shoulders should come down to there. Yeah, because back here... Well, Kala has a black dress, so it wouldn't even matter if it's in shadow. Her face is in shadow, but she isn't. Okay. Darken the hair. Have her hair kinda come out sort of Batwing-like. I added her as sort of a movie monster type character. Like, the types of people in this world are not just normal humans. Like, they all qualify as humans, like in Dragon Ball, where you have animal people. It's basically just humans, but as animals. No one, like, questions it or anything. That's sort of the same case here, except there's more variety a lot of times with, like, alongside the animal people, you get werewolves and mummies, and the vampires in this world have their own island they live on. Like, in this world, the world of my comics is set hundreds of years in the future. Like, our society is all just ruins beneath the ocean. And I plan to include that in the prologue of the remake of the first comic I'll be doing. Just an explanation towards how this world's set up. But, yeah, this is hundreds of years in the future. Our society, people, a lot of them don't even remember anymore. Like Mech-Mech up here, he doesn't know what Africa or China or anything is, because that's all ancient history by this point, and the hills and mountains of our world are the islands they all live on and stuff. I have a lot of stuff thought out for this series. Like, I've been thinking up this series since I started high school, pretty much, as sort of an extension of the stuff that I made when I was little, like when I was 7. The stuff I made up back then takes place in the 90s and 2000s of this world. So I got the history of this world planned out. I got a lot of plot points and spoilers I could talk about, but I'm not going to, because that would be massive spoilers that people should not know about yet. But hopefully by the time I'm dead, this will all be done. That's my main concern, is with how long I've taken to do this, I hope I can finish it at some point. Now that I'm not working at the factory, I imagine I'll get more comics done a year. Because at most, I was doing 2 comics a year when I was working at the factory. Usually only 1 comic a year, because of all the other stuff I work on alongside this. But yeah, Kala, she's a witch that they found in Leek Forest back on the first island that this took place on, which is where Doko, Stacy, and Mech-Mech live, the Hanprint Island. Stacy is from the Tri-Hoshi Islands, which they have not gone to yet, and which has not been mentioned yet, but it's an island I'd had planned out since high school. It's actually got a lot of historical significance, but again, that would be major spoilers. Has to do with the villains of my old stuff from when I was 7. Bloody blah 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 plot that no one cares about. Yeah, I'd love to just sit here and draw and record me drawing all day. It's a nice little thing. Just pleasantly sit here, passing the time, maybe sipping some tea. Yeah, make her wide-eyed and tiny pupils to show that she's startled. Small little mouth down here. Yeah, when you show the sudden surprise, you make their mouth go down towards the bottom of their chin. Really emphasizes the, oh my god, because she's getting a little tap here from the witch's finger. Don't want to make it too detailed, too many texture lines like what I have here. Sometimes I'll include those in the cheeks, but if I do that, I'll probably go too far, and then she'll start just looking over detailed and not feminine enough. Not that she really looks the most feminine. Like Tesley up here, when she has actual eyes, I include eyelashes and stuff. Stacy doesn't have that. Include the goggle. Okay. She's wearing a hat, so gotta include the rim there. Include these little lines to show that, oh, she realizes something. Have Kala's finger there. Include some more lines to emphasize the, hey, tap, tap, tap. Some speed lines to show that she's really tapping her. And then, just to make it clear, write the actual word. Okay. Is my hand getting too dirty? No. Yeah, problem when you're doing this is that if you're doing it with graphite, your finger, the back of your hand, is going to get all graphited up and start smearing the black if you press too hard. With how long I've been doing this, though, I'm usually pretty aware, and I'll wipe my hand off if it gets too dark. When I... Yeah. Crack. Bam. Just blood everywhere. Okay. I don't have Kala drawn in there well enough to... And when you're recording and doing this and focusing on talking while drawing, I really need to have, like, as much stuff as possible sketched out. And I try to get that, but if I'm not prepared, like with Kala's hand here, I'm not going to know just where to darken the lines. But thankfully, these words get the actions across well enough. Sorry, had to let Sparky out of the room. He kept getting up and whining. Oh, I also made a stop and got some of the other pages. Here you can see, this is the last colored one I did. That's Doko, the main hero. Complete idiot, but he always wants to do the right thing and help people. That is the superhero girl they sometimes run into, that it turns out Stacy trained. And here's some other pages. I like that shot of Doko. This is all the preliminary stuff where they're deciding who's going to make it into the quarterfinals in the actual tournament. There's all the people that made it in. That guy's just the staff guy that's telling them the rules. That pretty much catches things up to here. They're all just outside waiting. Tesley and Mech-Mech have tried to get in to see because they want to make sure Doko gets in so that they can bet on him in the actual tournament. Because they've actually put money down before he got into the actual thing because they're so confident that he'll make it in. But they wanted to be sure. And he is in. He does get in. Because if he didn't, there wouldn't be a comic. So, yeah, they're gonna be here at the tournament for the next 3 comics, and then it'll be on to the island where Mech-Mech's parental figure, his guardian that raised him, lives. Because he got a letter from him in the last comic asking him to come to the island. Something important happening there. And that island will be where they spend the rest of the saga, so multiple comics on that one. It'll also be where they're introduced properly to the main behind-the-scenes villain of the series for the first, I guess, part of the series, like, up until what I had planned as the ending back in high school. But I've had many, many more things thought up to make for the series after high school, so yeah, it probably won't be the end of the series when I get there. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, I guess since I can't really do the speed lines that well here with the word balloon and everything, I'll just put in all these jiggly lines to emphasize the finger tap. Yeah, my day usually consists these days of get up, get to work, eat something if I remember, go to the store to get stuff for Dad to eat, come home, let the dog out multiple times throughout the day, interrupting the process infinitely, and then go to bed, and probably not see my brother at all since he has a car now and doesn't interact with anybody. He just goes about his day and gets drunk on the weekends. Yep. I could say a lot of stuff about my family, but that would not be quality YouTube content like this clearly amazing video right here. And I'm sorry for those that are waiting for the Resident Evil 2 animation. It is taking forever. But I guarantee you, it'll be worth it. Like, it'd probably be done by now, but I still work on things on the art, on DeviantArt, and I do commissions sometimes for people, and between that and this and the other fan stuff I create, it's a lot to do. But don't worry, I'm still working on it. Adding in the details on Birkin and stuff right now. Yeah, I love doing the speed lines. It really shows the action. There's a lot of more realistic comics out there. That is one of the main things. Like, if you go too realistic, you lose this type of energy where it's just you see the motion instead of the actual physical figure. Because physically, if this were real, it'd just be her hand and nothing. It'd just be a pose. But since I'm doing this, I can actually show, oh, she's spinning around, and you can see these lines that show the speed. Even though in real life, you'd have to be moving so fast that you wouldn't even see the lines. You'd just see a blur if they were moving that fast. But here, since it's a cartoon, you can just show the implications of speed, and it just adds so much energy to the scene. It's what I love about comics. Like, even in animation, you have to show it differently. Like, since this is a still image, animation, it'd probably either be a smear frame or all these frames put together into one frame to show how quick they're moving. Like, that's when you pause and you get those really weird pictures. That's what that is. And that's cool, but here, it feels more like you feel the rawness of the action, is what it feels like. And that is just something that you do not get in real life. You can't get it. But here, like, you give me a good Jack Kirby fight scene, a good Toriyama fight scene, I can look at that for hours and just marvel at the wonder of the art. Not to say I'm anywhere near that level, but that's the type of thing I'm trying to convey here. Yeah, when I stop and I, like, calculatingly, methodically do these lines, it does not come off as well, I don't think, as when I do, like, just real quick. Just. And since her face is caught in the blur, you want to make the lines of her face that the hand is passing over, you want to dot them to show that they're there, but you can't see them that well because of the speed of the thing in front of her. And I'll probably touch it up a bit after the battery dies here, because I'm sure this is gonna die in a few minutes. But it's been great having you while I could. I guess I'll just finish up her eye here and then turn it off myself so that it doesn't just cut off suddenly. Yeah, really raise the eyebrow up to emphasize the anger, the pure, just instinctual attacking face she has. Shows some of the gums there. Blacken that. Blacken that. And let's see, is that... Yeah, that'll do for now. Well, I thank you all for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this little piece of my day, this get up in the morning and start making stuff. I guess I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, everyone.